Greetings, everybody. This is Leviathan here, and today I'm bringing you some news from Diablo 3 land. That's right, we have been waiting since patch 2.6.5 has been on the PTR. We knew at some point they'd have to give us the start date for Season 17, since that was part of what was being tested over there. And finally, today we have that. I'm recording this on Friday, May 10th, which is giving us a 1 week advance notice that Season 17 is going to start, funnily enough, on May 17th. So they linked up those lovely numbers. The 17th for the 17th season. Not too hard to forget, right? So with that, there isn't actually too much else in terms of things that have changed. On PTR, there were a couple of updates that occurred since my last video. Definitely recommend. I'll put some links in the video description, and there'll probably be some cards and stuff floating around the video. But for anyone that missed some of my coverage previously, where I went over the Season 17 rewards, the conquests, all that stuff, talked a little bit about the lawn the lawn setups, the lawn builds, since the theme for Season 17 is the Seasons of Nightmare, which basically means that you'll have a free lawn set anytime you have an ancient item and no sets equipped, no set pieces completing pieces of a set. So, you know, your UE set, if you were to wear just the shoulders, you're fine if that's ancient, but if you were to then put the gloves on, then that's bad, and it turns off that free set that we're getting for the Legacy of Nightmares buff. That's coming with Season 17, and again, I discussed some of that stuff, so check out those links in the video description. But just glancing through here, pretty much it's a summary. I'll put a link to this actual post that's announcing the Season 17 start date and summing everything up. I'll put a link to this in the video description as well. But it's just letting us know kind of what to expect, as we've discussed previously, with the no set being the bonus. Cosmetic rewards, those galactic wings, a lot of people are very excited about those. I was able to unlock them on the PTR. They are really, really cool. They also are locked behind the Guardian tier of the seasonal journey. So that means you have to complete your entire seasonal journey in Season 17 if you want those wings, and they're really sweet, so it'll be worth it. It's actually, in my opinion, it's a good change for them to put some cosmetics at the end of the seasonal journey, because then it will, hopefully for people that didn't previously care to finish their seasonal journey, motivate you to go further. Also, one of the things that's kind of been a hot topic in the community, the whole idea of them adding stash tabs. They are still going to add stash tabs for the PC version of the game, and those will be unlocked via seasonal journey, and you earn one upon completion of the Conqueror tier being completed. So Conqueror is right before Guardian. They actually go over in this post exactly what is comprised of the Conqueror tier, so you can see there on screen. And do a level 70 Nephilim Riff on T13 within 5 minutes, which should not be hard at all for anybody that's got a setup going. Get 3 legendary gems to 55, complete 2 conquests, and the conquests aren't too bad this season. Kill Diablo at level 70 in under 90 seconds on Torment 13, Slay Greed, T13, complete a Greater Rift level 60 solo, use Kanai's Cube to augment an ancient item with level 50 plus gem, and then use Kanai's Cube to reforge a legendary gem, or a legendary item. So none of those too difficult at all, and then you'll be able to get an additional stash tab. And it's my understanding that going, into the next 4 seasons as well after this, that you'll also be able to unlock one more stash tab each time for a new max of, what is it, 17 now? Because I think we have 12 stash tabs total at the moment, and then I believe they were testing giving us 5, and we'll unlock 1 per season via the seasonal journey, since you only get 1 seasonal journey per season. I guess we'll see if that changes, though. We do know, at least for this current season coming up, that we'll be able to get 1 more. So a little bit more stash space, never hurt nobody. Also, this search function is coming to the stash as well, so you'll be able to quickly sort through items that you've got thrown in there, maybe in an unorganized fashion like I usually do. And you'll be able to quickly find those hidden puzzle rings or whatever it is you're looking for. Like I mentioned, the conquests themselves aren't too bad. You do have the complete acts 1 through 5 in under an hour. That one's usually tedious, especially if you don't have a group put together for it. But even if you do have a group, you kind of have to coordinate and know how the campaign works, which a lot of people haven't touched campaign in a while. So this one might not be your favorite one to go for, but Avarice Avaricia, just getting the 50 million gold streak, very easy to do, especially if you have a leveled up Boon of the Hoarder. And now with the new Torment levels added, they're adding Torment 14 through 16, which is going to have increased drop rates, increased gold find, increased experience. If you can do this on one of those higher Torments, then you'll actually have a much easier chance of getting this done, because you'll just have a lot more gold find on your side. The Thrill and Superhuman are coming back. This is going to be a super cakewalk for you because it synergizes with the seasonal theme. So because you'll have the no set bonus from not wearing any set pieces, that means any ancient that you find, a random Bracer, a nice Yang's Recurve, Dead Man's Legacy, you'll be getting the additional power of the Legacy of Nightmares bonus, but you won't have any set pieces on. And the Thrill and Superhuman ask you to do a GR45 with no set pieces on at all. Like, you cannot wear any green pieces. So this one is going to be super trivialized this time around, because you'll literally need like one ancient item. You'll probably be able to face roll a GR45 at this point. It's going to be really, really easy, and that'll be your 2 conquests if you're just looking to get those done for your stash tab on the Conqueror tier. And then Guardian, you have to do 3 conquests. So probably the next one that'd be best for that would be the Years of War and Dynasty. Requires a little bit of work because you have to get you have to get 6 different class sets through Greater Rift level 55. So that means you're probably gonna have to have a second, if not a third, character class leveled up to 70 and some set pieces. Unless you're going to do just 4 of your main class and then 2 of another. It's probably like the easiest way to do that. And obviously GR55, not too hard to do these days. It's just the work of getting that second class up and then getting the gear. But if you're playing with friends, you can also get them to power level you, throw you some gear, and that should be that. You could also go for the last one here, which is Master of the Universe, Masters of Sets, which is getting 8 set dungeons done. They've made them way easier than they ever were, but people just in general don't like set dungeons, so this might be your last priority for ones you might want to do. But I would say those last 3 that we discussed would probably be the best ones to do in order to get your Guardian tier completed. Hadrig's Gift is a thing that is still going on. It'll be a little interesting because you will start out with a set, but then maybe you get some ancient pieces early and you just kind of don't want to use your set and go immediately into some, weird lawn build to take advantage of the seasonal theme. Not sure how that'll play out, but at the very least you will have these sets to rely on. So Barb is getting Might of the Earth, Crusader's getting Invokers, Thorn set, Demon Hunter's getting Shadows set, which is a really nice start for them. Monk got Sun Wukos, really nice start as well. Necro's getting Grace of Inarius, which got buffed a lot in the PTR, so that'll be something to rejoice in for Necros, maybe finally. Witch Doctor is getting Jade, and Wizard's getting Firebirds. So those are your sets earned from Hadrig's, and for those of you who know the drill by now, it's just chapters 2 through 4 completed in your seasonal journey. You can get those done within a few hours at the start of the season. As far as the other changes that are coming to the actual patch, like mentioned, some more Torment levels, Stash Search, as you can see on the screen there, pretty cool. And then the actual content in terms of what they're adding to the patch. Again, we did discuss a lot of this in the PTR review. The Ancient and Primal Puzzle Rings will open a new and improved, wow, I'm blanking on the name of it. The portal, when you go into the puzzle ring room, I can't remember it at all. Greed's Realm, basically. It has a ton more goblins. I have a video previewing that on the channel as well. Put that in the video description. This change is pretty cool too. If you're playing in groups, somebody's cheat death proc goes off, then you'll be able to see that, which is a nice change. So some other quality of life stuff here. Again, this whole blog post will be in the video description. I'm not gonna go ahead and read through everything because we have already done so. Challenge Rifts though, the Death's Breath reward is going to be increased from completing a Challenge Rift, so those caches that we get will be a little juicier. That's nice, especially for the start of the season. And that's another thing to remember too, for next week, the Challenge Rift that comes out on Monday, do not complete it. I'll probably put up a guide to that just to let you know how it's looking, what it'll be. I think it should be a Demon Hunter one. How to get it done, And obviously you can go in and practice it, but don't complete it until you create that seasonal character on Friday if you want to benefit from having all the rewards that you get out of Challenge Rift Cash. And that gives you a really nice head start on leveling up quickly from 1 to 70 at the start of a new season. I have a guide on that as well on the channel. Mentioned already that there's stash tabs coming. Bounty indicators are gonna come up more immediately. That'll be really nice for making bounties go by faster. All this talk about Death's Breath too reminds me that there's the buff to the Sage set, so you're gonna get double Death's Breath drops, which is really nice for those who like to craft a lot using the Kanai's Cube to upgrade your rares to legendary, all that good stuff. There was one more change that I definitely want to make sure I mention because it has to do with Crusader. So on the PTR, I guess it was determined that the Blessed Shield items that buffed up the Lawn Blessed Shield setup, which a lot of Crusaders will likely be going for, was too powerful. So originally they rolled out with the Akan's Leniency upgrade to that power. I think it was up to 100%, and then they brought it back to 30 to 35%. And a lot of the feedback on that had been that that was a bit of a severe bringing back of the numbers, because players, still wanted Blessed Shield to be performing really well. I had heard rumor and talk on forums and posts and all sorts of places that people are discussing the game that maybe the number would go up by the time that we actually got to the official patch, but it looks like that didn't end up being the case. So we're ending out with just a small increase to the Akan's Leniency legendary power, 30 to 35%. I guess we'll see where it shakes out, especially because some of the other classes can just perform so well in terms of reaching high greater rifts for solo play. But hopefully this still provides for a good build for Crusaders, especially moving away from Condemn and such. Although Invokers kind of seems to be the winning way to go these days. I'm sure in this Legacy of Nightmare season though, the Blessed Shield should do some work. There were a few other items that got buffed up as well with their support of some potential lawn builds, Bloodtide Blade for Necros. A lot of people are very excited about the Chantotos setup. Going into Veers, they made some changes to that, but it doesn't seem like it too negatively affected that setup, so it's still going to be performing pretty well in the next season. Although I'm hearing that Lawn will still be one of the best ways to play some sort of Lawn Meteor build. One of the best ways to play Wizard. Like I mentioned, there's that Grace of Inarius buff, taking that 6-piece set bonus to 10,000, where previously it was 3,750. So very nice increase. There was one other thing. Yes, so for Demon Hunters, there was a outcry for some help for them to get a lawn setup, because there's not really anything great for them. Previously there was Lawn Fan of Knives, but the way that all the sets for Demon Hunters work, their 6 pieces are really good, to the point where playing Fan of Knives is just best done in Natalia's set. So on the PTR, they decided to go ahead and give some additional help to Rapid Fire. So now the Sin Seekers have a bonus of 250 to 300% damage for Rapid Fire, and then the Wojani Assaulter got some changes to it. Rapid Fire now deals 75 to 100% increased damage for every half second that you channel, and it stacks up to 30 times, where previously it was 4. And the stacks gained stack more quickly than they used to. I did see some people play with this. I tried it a little bit myself. Rapid Fire is just still kind of one of those weird skills where, to me at least, it doesn't feel incredibly fun to play. At least the playstyle, I don't know. I'm one of those players that really likes fast-moving builds, fast-paced builds. I don't really like to stand around too much. Kind of like to be in and out, moving, bobbing, and weaving. Rapid Fire definitely promotes some stationary play. I did see people being pretty productive with it though. There were a bunch of greater if 125-ish clears or so on PTR, and who knows how optimized those were, or with how much Paragon, etc. So I guess we'll have to see what it gets up to in the season. But at least this gives Demon Hunters another option. I mean, this is right around what a bunch of their other setups can do as well, between Unhallowed Essence Multi-Shot, Shadow Impale, and then what seems to still be the king, N6 M4 with the Sentries. So I'm glad that they did that though, just to give players something to do that's different if they want to go with a long route for Demon Hunter. It's nice that there was some community feedback and they acted on it. Other than that, just some other bug fixes and stuff. There is a little bit of a frequently asked questions section down here, and there's something interesting to note is that they're no longer giving us estimates of when seasons will end, as you can see here. So we're no longer providing anticipated end dates for seasons, but we are committed to keeping seasons roughly 3 months in length, give or take a few weeks that are based on development needs, and we'll continue to provide a minimum of 2 weeks advance notice for when the season will be ending. So this is pretty interesting just because we were, for the last few seasons, getting some sort of rough date of when we could expect the season to end. But I guess because there have been a few occasions where that date has been missed, they're just deciding to not offer one out anymore. And at least this seems to suggest that there will be further development so that we can expect more patching to come to the game, maybe some more updates to items and such over time. Maybe, again, more interesting and intriguing seasonal themes. So potentially something to look forward to here. You know, as much as I thought that the game was not going to be touched too much this year or updated, I've been pleasantly surprised to see that we've had PTRs and we've had things to test out as they continue to add a bit more to the game. So that's pretty exciting. That is definitely good. And then I think there was one more. Oh yeah, it was just another clarification here about the stash tab stuff. There was, again, big controversy, people just wanting all the stash tabs. When the PTR originally rolled out, you could unlock all 5 stash tabs right away with gold. Apparently just having that many was causing some degradation to gameplay, and they want to have gameplay be, you know, above and all else unaffected and a premium experience. And so I guess that means that there has to be a limitation on the amount of stash space that players can get, at least initially. So for console, they ended up not going forward with giving additional stash space. And then for the PC, we're just going to be able to earn 1 per season. And that's about it. So hope you guys are looking forward to season 17. I would love you to leave me a comment and let me know what class you plan to play this coming season, what your goals are for the season, if you're still playing, what your thoughts are on how D3 is continuing to go. BlizzCon is officially announced coming at the end of this year. Curious if there, you know, will be any Diablo updates. We haven't heard anything about Diablo Immortal, for better or for worse, and we still are supposed to hear about multiple projects that they have in the pipeline, so maybe this BlizzCon will provide some really exciting news for Diablo fans across the spectrum. But in any case, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening and checking out the video. There are tons more on the channel, so feel free to look through all those. Check out the video description for other links and such. And I'll catch you next time. Adios.